Hello and welcome to the ThinkTree interviews. My name's Kush Kumar, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Una Tucker from Kneads Must. So let me start by asking you, Una, how did you first of all become a therapist and then later a course provider?
Well, I always massaged. Even as a kid, I massaged and, ended up, my mother worked incredibly hard. She was always in need of a massage. I ended up doing friends and family the whole of my life. And it was 2003, I was working in the city as a document specialist. I worked at night for a legal firm, and it was a bank holiday, and a fire alarm happened. And there was about 4 or 5 of us in the building, honestly. And we ended up sitting in the courtyard. And I was talking to a coworker who said to me that she was signing up to a massage course the very next day. And this blew my mind because I had no concept that you could study massage. And she said, well, if you want, why don't you come along? And I did, and I never looked back. I qualified as an holistic massage therapist in 2004, and then I went for aromatherapy, reflexology, chair massage, sports massage, head massage, etc., etc. And I'm here, and it's nearly 20 years later, and I'm still doing it, and I absolutely love it.
Fantastic. So tell me about the need and how that came about.
Well, this is the kneader. This is my kneader. And let me bring it so it's not getting lost in the virtual background. This, again, was a bit by chance, really. It was, my company is called Kneads Must. And that really is my company and my creed. Because when I was doing my case studies for my first course, the holistic course, it really impressed upon me how important regular massage is, because my case studies would come in and they would be in absolute agony, and like the first or second, were never good. But by the third or fourth massage, everything was working so much better. They were really enjoying it because their muscles were looser. They said that they could feel it in their daily lives. It was easier for me to massage, again, because their muscles were looser. And I thought, regular massage is the key. It really, really is. So when I started my own practice, my own holistic practice, very shortly after, this sort of stuck in my mind. And, even my best clients could only come to me maybe once a month because, time or travel or costs. And by the time they got back to me, they were like this again because of stress and sedentary lifestyles and, just our 24/7, it is what it is. So I thought I really want a massage tool that I can recommend to my clients to use in between their treatments to keep up the good work. So by the time they came back to me, we would be starting afresh all the time. And I went out and I really did look, and there was nothing out there that impressed me as a consumer that I'd want to buy, or as a therapist that I'd want to recommend to somebody. So I was going through this and it was still in my mind. And I went home to Dublin to visit a friend, and we went to a party, and this is showing how long ago it was because I was wearing kitten heels all night. And by the next morning I woke up and my lower back was wrecked, and I thought to myself, God, I could really use a massage. But I sort of realized that my best friend was not up for giving me a massage at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I was lying in bed, and this came back to me, and I thought, it would just be so good to have a massage tool that pretty much you could do everything with. You could do a effleurage, petrissage, percussions, and that, you didn't have to, you could hold it any way and use it any way you liked. Honest to God, as I was thinking about this popped up. It's like a picture, a flash in my head. And I knew that this was something. So I went downstairs. I asked Mairead for a piece of paper and a pen. I wrote the picture down. I still have that picture in my files. I never show it to anyone because I'm a really rubbish artist. It's appalling. But it went from there. And of course, fate had set me up because I worked for a legal firm. So they were able to help me set up my company, check the IP so that, was there any sort of anything out there, help me register it. And it went from there. And that, I will say though, that was in 2004. I didn't actually get manufactured until 2011 because of the recession and the fact I was funding myself. But the moment I got a prototype, and I still have the original prototype upstairs, the moment I got that in my hand and I started massaging with it, I realized I'm onto something. This really, really works. And I
Brilliant.
went with it.
Excellent. And then, so you did that for quite a while. And I know that you've entered lots of competition and you're award winning with your routines.
Thank
And,
you
and
very
then,
much.
so tell me how you then started with your courses and how did that come about?
Well, because I did, I kept on massaging with it, obviously. And one of the things that when I went to trade shows, the first thing I did was I went to trade shows. Carl of Massage World magazine featured me on his stand several times. He's a big fan of the kneader, and I know you know him quite well. And when I was standing there talking to therapists and showing this tool, and all I had to do was start massaging with it, they would come up and they'd say, the first thing they'd say to me is it going to save my thumbs? Is it going to help my wrists? Everybody had a problem. And this was not just older therapists, 20 years in the business. This was young therapists, recently qualified therapists. And it really hit me that a lot of people were having trouble with RSI or just strain, on their thumbs and their wrists and their fingers. So I started really looking into that because, for me, I never even considered therapist injury or, using it.
So tell me, Una, how did the chair massage come about?
Again, it was an organic process. It evolved, right? One of the things that right before I got manufactured in 2011, I wanted to get therapists to use it so that it was approved by professionals or whatever. And when I had this, it was an amazing focus group, right? Someone set it up for me, and it was about 4 or 5 different five therapists of different disciplines. I didn't know any of them, and I put the kneader in their hands, and for an hour and a half, we all worked with it. Immediately, they said, "Oh, I'd use this in my practice. This would really help with my thumbs. This would really help with my fingers." And it was a bit of a eureka moment. I was going, "Oh my God, therapists want this. This is a therapist tool as well." So, I went out there and I started going to trade shows on the back of that because I thought therapists need to see this. And Carl Newbury of Massage World magazine, as you know him, he's a very big fan, and he always likes to promote new products and new, routines or whatever, or therapies. And he featured me a couple of times on his stand, and it blew me away. Because I would start, the good thing is this demonstrates fantastically well, right? You can just sort of massage with it, you're just sort of working away. It goes really well over clothes. I'd stop people, I'd start working on it. Loads of therapists would, stand around. And the first thing they said to me is it going to help my thumbs? Is it going to help my wrists or my fingers? And that really shocked me because this was not older therapists in the business for 30 years. They came too, they talked to me too, but this was also younger, recently qualified. And that pressure, and RSI and therapist injury and strain was out there, and it was, growing, obviously. So I really started looking into this. It was very hard to get any stats on it because even though it is very prevalent in our industry because we're doing the same thing again and again, it was sort of not spoken about. And I was sort of a voice in the wilderness in 2011 and 12 going, maybe we should use some tools sometimes, supplement, our routines. Some therapists were completely open to it, some were not. Some educators were, some were not. The industry has come on incredibly since then, but I really started speaking up for tools because the more therapists I spoke to, the more therapists that used my tool and came back to me and said, I'm using it this way and it's really helping and, and I really like it. The more I realized that, this was something that needed to be said and discussed. It was a topic that needed to be out there. So I was, like I said, the voice in the wilderness, and I, by sheer default, became sort of an industry expert because I was the one who was talking about massage tools. And I wrote a lot of articles, and I did interviews and whatever. And I was getting the message out there. What I did notice was that lots of people used it. You can use it with oil in a massage, on a massage table, and lots of people did it. And I had some lovely comments. One woman said, I feel guilty using it because it's so easy to use. But the ones that I was really interested in was the sports, no, not dismissing that, by the way, because that's a very valid comment, but the ones that really fascinated me, because I wasn't a sports massage therapist then, and I wasn't a chair massage therapist then, were those two. They were coming back and going, yeah, I'm using it all the time. I find it really easy to use over clothes. And of course, I was at trade shows and I was getting chair massages all the time, and I love chair massage. So I really started to focus in on this. And I kept on waiting for a chair massage therapist to come up with a routine. And I thought, no, you do it. You're the expert on this tool. You know what it can do. So I devised a routine in 2015. And I started massaging in a Nuffield clinic. And it evolved. And I the more I used it, the more I really liked it. I thought, I've got something here. This is amazing. And I started using two, and I really started to grow the actual routine. I started to teach it as a course in 2016. But even though I taught it a couple of times, I felt frustrated by that format because it was a short course. Some people accredited the actual, short course in the classroom. FHT and the CTHA did, and you were, I think you were running it at the time, and it was, it was fantastic. But I felt that people went away and they couldn't imagine the moves. Seeing it for 2 days was not enough. And even then I said, I need to put this online. But I put that aside and I took it to the World Championships in 2017. I won a silver in the chair. And what really blew me away was all the tools being used. I thought that I was going to be the only person there using a tool, the only person there doing a fusion massage. I was so wrong. And it was just one of many. And I was even more fired up by the time I got back because I saw the possibilities. And then in 2019, I took it to the nationals and I won a bronze. And it was then that I thought, this is a good routine. It's tried and tested. I use it all the time. My clients love it. I need to share this, but I need to share it with a wider audience because we're all so limited by travel costs or just sheer logistics, or time or money. So I was talking to Napoleon Creative. This is a corporate video and animation company that they did my original DVD back in 2010 or whatever. They're a fantastic company. Gavin Ricketts runs it, and he's really proactive. And he said, look, I will help you put this online. And we started nearly a year ago to the day. It's been incredibly hard work and a huge learning curve. But we have now got this really comprehensive online course. And it's the original course, but now it's updated, it's made better. We have all of the components like the AMP and the business and stuff. But what really makes a difference is we have the routine filmed, every move of the routine. And there's like 102 or 3 moves. It's quite fast because it's a full body routine. And now, students can have this material for 6 months, learn at their own time, in their own pace, go back and check moves to make them their own. Because we've all done it, Kush. I've been on short courses where I've really, really loved the moves and really got them and enjoyed them. A month later, I'm wondering, what was that move again? Because we all need a visual. We've become so visual in our society with, online stuff. And it just really helps. And as a massage therapist, it helps because you need to see the move repeated and repeated again. I love on-site courses. The last course I did was with the London School of Massage, my sports massage, because after the World Championships, I saw so much sports massage. I said, I have to get into this, and again, they use the kneader a lot. So I wanted to check that out. And I love it. But, I think this is a really valid option and a way forward for a lot of therapists, especially if you live remotely or if you don't have the time to do, a course on the weekend or whatever. So we've done this. We've put it out there. The therapist will have the moves for 6 months, but also we're really big on education. I love teaching and I love talking to therapists and sharing information with them. So we have a closed Facebook group for the course, and there's going to be weekly Q&As and information sharing and videos, so that the students are completely supported with as much information as they want or need. And it's evolved into that because that's where I want to go. I do want to teach, but it was just so limited when it was an actual physical space. This is, anybody can take this course, as long as you're a qualified level 3 massage therapist, and because it is still a short course. And as you know, because ThinkTree has accredited this course, the massage industry is just sort of getting their head around online stuff, and there's not a huge platform. There's not a sort of something set out for this type of learning. It's coming about, but at the moment there's very few governing bodies that will accredit an online course, and you're one of them. So to be applauded for your foresight. But once you have that platform and that grows within the industry, I would love to see my kneader chair massage course become a foundation course, and that people can sort of do more with it for longer, and we can expand it. But it's all there at the moment, and what you get is what most therapists want. You get a routine. You get a new way of going out there and massaging and making money and growing your business.
Excellent. Well, listen, thank you ever so much for that, Una. And those of you who are watching and are interested in Una's course, if you go on to our homepage, thinktreehub.com, then you go to find a course, an accredited course. You'll see Una's course there and all the relative information with it. And with that, you'll also see the link to a demonstration as well. So we wish you all the best, Una. We know that this is a fantastic course that you've put together, because we've looked.
I will say, if I can interject, just for therapists, when you go onto the landing page, and that is all, you'll be able to see clips of the course, and you'll be able to everything that you want to know about the course. It's all there. We've been, really comprehensive about it. You can join the course, and when you do, an email will come to me, and we're going to have to ask you, as you'll be aware of doing courses yourself, we need to see your qualifications to make sure you are level 3 and that you are insured, and then we'll get you on the course. But if you have any questions, you can always email me. You can also, we've got a Facebook, a general Facebook group for Kneads Must, if you want to find us there. We also have a YouTube channel, so you can sort of get us. We're on Twitter, Instagram. You can come back and ask me any questions you need to know.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much.